It's the Real Estate Podcast, brought to you by ANZ Home Loans for financial well-beings.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Breakfast, talking your real estate, your property news. Yes, we do that 7 days a week, and you can hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts and Amazon. Tuesday morning, Monday out of the way. Everything is looking good between now and Friday. It is the 1st of October. How much more have we got in terms of property talk, property prices, etc.? Well, probably quite a bit between now and the end of the year. And I want you to focus in on Brisbane's property market, still remaining one of Australia's strongest markets. And with the rest of 2024, no doubt that is going to continue with its growth momentum. Now, since COVID-19, prices have soared in Brisbane by 64%, and that is pushing Brisbane's median home value above Melbourne's. And the data tells us the capital city dwellings price sits at a median of just over 875,000, with units showing the strongest annual growth at 19.4%. Confidence is among buyers and sellers. That is up, and that's despite any movement down with the rates from the RBA. And it kind of makes you wonder what is likely to happen once the rates do come down. Are the commentators right when they say there's going to be another boom on the horizon? Well, time will tell as far as that is concerned, but let's head a little bit further north away from Brisbane. And this morning on the 1st of October, let's catch up with Scott Mitchell from Mitchell's Realty in Hervey Bay on the sunny Fraser Coast. And Scott, 1st of October, not a lot left in the year now.
Yeah, good morning, Craig. So we're not as sunny as we could be, but you could do worse and still visit Hervey Bay and the Fraser Coast.
Now, last time we spoke, we were talking about this massive development which is coming to town, $450 million Sheraton Resort in Hervey Bay. Just want to take the temperature pulse on this because it's been about a month since we last spoke. How's the general feeling on that from the public?
General consensus is the community would just like to see the project moving ahead, see some activity. There's going to be some buildings that are going to have to come down in order for the new one to go up. And we're excited to see that progress start in earnest.
Now, what's going on with Labor? Because I know that you like your fishing. Labor's committed to declaring the Mary River a net-free zone if it is returned to the government. Now, the reason that I mention that is because it does have a flow-on effect for people moving into the area, because recreational fishing is such a big part, one of the reasons why people move to your neck of the woods in the first place.
And recreational fishing plays a vital role to our local communities across the Fraser Coast, socially and economically. So it's definitely a driver for some of the reasons anglers move to the Fraser Coast is the quality of the fishing. The Great Sydney Marine Park review, the new zoning plan, came into effect back in May this year. And we've already seen a significant improvement in both size and volume of some of our local popular fish species like whiting, flathead. For the Labor government to now declare the Mary River above the Marine Park zone to become a net-free zone, it would be the jewel in the crown, really. They take about 25 tonne commercially of wild barramundi out of that river system every year. And we are the southernmost wild barramundi fishery in Australia. So with the Bruce Highway opening up next month as well, or this month now, we're 1st of October, that's going to expedite that commute between Hervey Bay, Maryborough and Brisbane and Sunshine Coast. It'll be a driver for our real estate market going forward to have the Mary River declared a net-free zone. So whilst I don't want to talk politics and get involved in it, they say you don't talk about politics in the war, but if you're a keen recreational fisher and you want to see the Mary River made net-free, at this stage, only the Labor government have committed to giving us that outcome.
Yes, and I would love to see just some of the data with real estate in Rockhampton, because we've seen what the net-free zones have done for regional areas such as a Rockhampton, where anglers have purchased property in the area purely due to the net-free zone. And we'll come back in just a moment. We'll talk more about this. And if you're wondering about those median values in Hervey Bay, we'll cover that off after this.
Why shout from the rooftops on expensive radio and TV when you can whisper straight into the ears of property lovers? Our listeners are all about bricks, mortar and property transactions.
And right now it is time for another property tip. We like to bring these tips to you so that you've got some sort of an idea on, when you're looking at buying a property, some of the things you might be missing. And we spoke to Ryan a couple of weeks ago there in Bentley in Melbourne. And Ryan, with the interest rates potentially at some point coming down, you've got a property tip around that.
Yeah, and look, this is advice I've been giving in friends as well. I just believe in the next 6 months, or at least until the interest rates come down, it's a really good time to buy. The reality is, once interest rates do come down, if it comes down by 50 basis points or 0.5%, people's borrowing capacity jumps by 5%, and history shows that usually just means prices go up by that margin as well. So in the next 6 months, if you are in the market, I'd be encouraging you to buy.
We help to break down real estate every day to help you better understand the Australian property market.
Have you got a mother or father that you have recently put into a retirement village? Now, these villages, they do promise a utopia for older Australians, offering this independent living. And over 250,000 seniors call these villages home, drawn by the allure of a longer, healthy and happier life. That is the good part. However, ABC investigations have revealed troubling issues within the industry, which has largely evaded regulatory scrutiny. Now, hidden fees like exit and refurbishment charges often leave residents financially trapped and, for many, ruined. There's a good case for Joan, who is 89 years of age. The deductions from her original $384,000 investment will leave her with just $81,000, prompting feelings of being robbed. And critics warn that the system borders on corporatised elder abuse, leaving many vulnerable. And plenty of critics for years have been saying this is a little bit like the Wild West. So congrats to the ABC for diving into this. Hopefully the politicians are listening.
Gain insights with exclusive conversations from real estate professionals about buying, selling and investing across Australia.
And it is a Real Estate Tuesday. It is the first day of October, and we are talking about fishing and how that can have a direct influence over any real estate region. And Scott, you were just talking about the declaring the Mary River and what that's going to add in terms of value to new zoning plan for the Great Sandy Marine Park, where commercial netting has also been largely removed.
Yeah, correct. And we're already seeing that new zoning plan only came into effect on the 20th of May this year. Already in those short 3-4 months, we've seen an improvement in both size and numbers of those two key species all across the Fraser Coast, particularly over in our esplanade, our beautiful Hervey Bay esplanade. There's been a lot of more people than I've seen in years fishing along Shelley Beach particularly, and catching really good quality summer whiting. So everywhere commercial netting has been removed in favour of recreational fishing, we've seen an improvement in local fish stocks, so that's going to unquestionably improve going forward with the new zoning plan. But the Mary River, the Great Sandy Marine Park boundary, only goes up about 1/3 of the tidal reaches. So above that area, it's still just public water. So above that area, commercial fishers can still actively commercially fish for barramundi and king threadfin salmon. And they take around 25, 30 tonne a year out of that section of river, which is not a large section. As you've mentioned, we've only got to go to the north at Rockhampton and the Fitzroy River net-free zone to see the benefits that have come from their net-free zone. And the people that have purchased into those areas around there, purely based on the quality of the fishing there. Like, it's become probably our country's best big barramundi wild fishery in the country. They're catching fish consistently over 1.2 metres in the town reaches of Rockhampton between the two highway bridges, and it will drive the real estate markets in those areas. Mackay was another one too. They've got new net-free zones there, and I know friends here moved from Hervey Bay to Mackay based off that decision.
Okay, so that's the fishing. Let's get on to having a look at some of the median values, because as I mentioned at the top, Brisbane is continuing to just grow in this market. Let's step over, because we've talked about the 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, brand new. I think sort of at the beginning of the year, you could get into something like that for about 560. There has been a little bit of movement. So where does that all sit at the moment?
The average medium house price, if you're talking brand new builds now, you can probably still get into a 3-bed, 2-bath brand new project home for around the 580 to 600, and then a 4-bedroom on a 600 square metre lot is sitting around 625,000 at the moment, which still makes it super affordable when compared to those markets south of us, like the Sunshine Coast and Brisbane markets, which are still booming, and a lot of those buyers that are getting tired of the traffic down there are still selling at a higher level and coming up the Hervey Bay because of our affordability.
Now, just a point in case here, we talk about units, of course. You're never going to realise the same sort of increase in equity as opposed to a house. But I think there's an argument where if somebody has been in a unit for the last few years in Brisbane, and then they decided, right, we're going to sell up here and move to Hervey Bay, they've actually got the option of moving into a house, a new build, as opposed to an apartment, a unit, or they could get themselves quite a swanky unit, an upgrade on what they're currently living in. So, pound for pound, there's still value in upsizing.
Certainly, Hervey Bay is still super affordable, and that's another key driver to our market. Townhouses and units, whilst we haven't had a lot of new construction as far as complexes go at this stage, you can still buy a quality unit within 2 blocks of the beach between $450,000 and $500,000.
Yes, so the value is still there. Great. Good to chat with you, Scott, find out about the fishing and some of what is proposed, and everybody's pretty pumped at the moment on the 1st of October in Hervey Bay. Hey, enjoy your Tuesday and talk again soon.
Will do. Thanks, Craig, and great to catch up.
Don't navigate the real estate market alone. Let us help guide you in the world of real estate every day. Make better informed decisions with the latest news and insights.
The demographics there, Lynn. Mum and dad investors are investing. Now, a lot of people might be a little bit surprised by that.
I think most people think of Hamilton Island as this really high-end destination where it would cost you an absolute bomb to buy property. And that can be true. I mean, there's definitely that element to the market. But we find our core demographic, mum and dad investors, you can get in the market from $250,000 for a really small 1-bedroom, nice little investment property.
Now, you said $250,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment. What?
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy. Usually that type of property is a permanent rental. It's leased out to, say, a staff member that lives and works on island. Again, still really good investment. The rental market's really tight and in high demand on the island, so there's usually no vacancies, but you can absolutely enter the market at a really low price.
We connect you to the best real estate information across Australia. The Real Estate Podcast.